McDonald's reportedly planning a restructuring. The fast food giant closed all its U.S. offices temporarily this week in preparation for incoming layoffs. And that's according to a report from the Wall Street Journal. Yahoo Finance's Brooke DiPalma, she has the latest.
Good morning, Jared. Well, certainly some disappointing news coming out of McDonald's this morning. Wall Street not reacting too much in opening. Shares mostly flat here, but that's right. The burger chain is reportedly planning to lay off both U.S. and international employees this week. In an internal memo obtained by Wall Street Journal, the company said employees should work from home Monday to Wednesday of this week while they deliver those staff change-ups and layoffs virtually. Now, the decision to lay off those employees virtually, part of that reason was due to this being a high travel weekend with most of their employees off. Now, employees who will be out of the office, who will not have access to their computers, were actually encouraged and asked to provide personal contact information in which they will be contacted if, in fact, they are impacted. Now, with this, the company also reportedly told employees to cancel all in-person meetings with vendors and outside parties at its headquarters. But, Jared, it is unclear what teams will be impacted, how large or small this impact will be. And Yahoo Finance did reach out to comment to McDonald's and received no comment.
And Brooke, this comes against the larger backdrop. Walk us through what we have heard so far from the company over the course of this year.
That's right. Well, let's take from a Wall Street perspective. Shares are mostly flat this year, but the larger revamp is really the bigger backdrop that we're taking a look at when it comes to McDonald's. They're aiming to hone in on restaurant growth, operation efficiency, effectiveness, and innovation here. So back in January, the company announced Accelerating the Arches 2.0. That's sort of a revamp, a second innovation of their Accelerating the Arches 1.0. In addition to that, as part of it, they added a fourth D, that fourth D driving restaurant growth, and they also announced Accelerating the Organization ATO. Now, as part of that, CEO Chris Kempczinski sent out a memo back in January saying, quote, as part of this work, we will evaluate roles and staffing levels in parts of the organization, and there will be difficult discussions and decisions ahead. We expect to finalize and begin to communicate key decisions by April 3rd. Now that brings us to today. The memo later on went to say that the company is divided in silos with a center, segments, and markets. And that approach is what they say outdated and self-limiting. Now this comes as that restaurant growth background is a large plan for 2023. The company plans to open 1,900 restaurants and new locations, that is, this year. 400 will be in the U.S., Canada, Australia, and Europe, 900 in China, that is. So certainly betting big there. The company also tapped the Chipotle exec who was coined with innovation and growth at the company. So certainly bringing that here. And in terms of a larger macroeconomic backdrop, Chris Kempczinski said on the call that lower income consumers are trading down, spending less at their stores as inflation continues to take a toll. But McDonald's performing well this year. The company recently beat across the top and bottom line in their latest quarterly results. And so certainly we'll wait to see just how large this layoff round will be and what exactly the impact will be on both its workforce and its bottom line.
You know, Brooke, I just think about their headquarters in Chicago, Illinois, and particularly, or at least in the Chicago area, and what that means for so many employees who will be remaining there. I mean, does this mean that they just have kind of a WeWork set up and say, oh, yeah, we just got this kind of McDonald's WeWork outpost that people can come into, or is it purely virtual? How does this vastly change the structure of people who are even continuing to stay on at McDonald's?
Well, Brad, to make it clear, from what I understand, the company will only close its offices, its U.S. offices, from Monday to Wednesday of this week while it does these layoffs rounds. And so while it seems like it's a hybrid workforce here, those employees who are not impacted by these layoff rounds are still encouraged to work from the office once they reopen on, say, Thursday. And in addition to that, as you noted, Hamburger University, as they call their Chicago headquarters, it has such a large presence in Chicago, and so I don't see them closing the office permanently anytime soon.
All right. I would like to get my master's from Hamburger University in the future there.
Wouldn't we all, Brad?
Thanks so much. Appreciate it helping us break this down this morning. Brooke DiPalma.